really quick here just to break things down. So I want to talk first about the first impression, right? The minute you come onto that stage, you get to hit a pose. Okay, so give us your feedback. Pose backwards, pose sideways, pose forwards.
Oh, I'm a straight on kind of girl. Definitely not backwards. Like, give them what the people came to see. I'm a strong pose to the front, especially depending on what portion of competition we're in. I think it's really important. I'm not going to strike the same pose for fitness as I maybe would for on-stage question, but I I think it's really important that your energy is so there. Like, I remember coming backstage before I walked on stage as top 10 for fitness, and I felt like I was floating almost. And it was just such a surreal feeling. And one of the big things that I say to myself is, if it is for you, it will not pass you. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I had no nerves. I had no jitters. And I kind of completely forgot what my routine was supposed to be. And I just walked out and really soaked in that moment because I knew it was something that I'd never experienced again, which is kind of what makes Miss America so beautiful. And I wanted to live in that. And I didn't want to be thinking about posing a certain way or doing a certain look. I wanted to just live in it and be so thankful for the moment that I was in. Because at that point, it was already decided who Miss America was going to be. It was decided long before we all got to Orlando. So I really wanted to soak in that moment.
Yes. And I assume you're speaking like a higher power decided.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think so. Absolutely.
Now, I think that really also being able to live in the moment speaks to and testifies your level of preparation, right?
Yeah.
It's so much easier to live in the moment when you know that you've prepared and practiced. So let's then talk about confidence and communicating that. And specifically, if you will talk to us about the importance of facial expressions.
Yeah, confidence is, I mean, it's cliche, but confidence is key. And it is not something I think on Instagram and TikTok and all these places we see only the confident version of everybody. And I'm sure to anybody looking in at me, they would think I'm always just the most confident, put together girl. But like in reality, I have on sweatpants under this shirt and I'm not always put together and have everything figured out and the most confident girl. But I do think, as I was saying before, there's so many factors that we can control beforehand to make sure we are the most confident we can be whenever it comes down to stage time and it comes down to those judges having eyes on us. That preparation, it's tedious and it's hard and you're going to be tired and you are not going to want to get up and go to that mock interview. But all of those things come together to create this beautiful version of the woman that we want to present and the woman that we know we have in us. There's so many hours that go into that behind the scenes that no one gets to see, and hours in sweatpants, hours in the gym, hours crying because paperwork is tough, that come together to really show this really beautiful package of a woman, and somebody that's strong and had to go through battles and adversity and stress to put together something that they're proud to present on the stage.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. So we're going to go on here to talking about what are some mistakes that you feel like a lot of people could make, right? It's so much about owning who you are, but what are maybe some things to avoid?
Yeah, we have one listed here that I really agree with. Walking too fast is a big one, but I'm going to say another, walking too slow is also huge. There's a middle ground that feels comfortable for people watching. And we also have to remember, like, it's very different being on that stage. I think things go a little fast or a little slow, depending on how your attitude is for that basic competition. And we have to remember that the audience has such a different perspective on it. And I think just as much as walking too fast is a no, I almost think walking too slow can hurt someone more because it almost looks like you're unsure on stage and you never want to give that impression. I think walking fast can almost give more confidence, whereas slow can look like you're hesitant and you don't feel comfortable up there. But yeah, that's a huge one to me. I think especially fitness, walking slow to me, that can come across kind of the wrong way. I feel like fitness is supposed to be upbeat and fun, and you're excited to show off the hard work that you put in to be physically and emotionally and mentally fit. So all of that comes together to create kind of like an upbeat, but still sultry and still you're a woman kind of walk to it. And yeah, arms are huge. That's why I think it's really important. If you know you are not good with pushing your arms all the way around, put them on your hips and walk with those hands on your hips. If that is a problem for you, find ways around it. And listen to those people that are in your corner. I cannot emphasize this enough. There's so many things that you don't realize are coming across a different way on stage or coming across a different way in so many aspects of your life, and lean on those people that really love you and really want what's best for you, and trust their advice and take it to heart and learn what I can tweak to make it so good for everyone in the crowd watching.
You mentioned the pacing of fitness specifically, but let's talk a little bit more about pacing for evening gown. There was a trend, a long time ago. It was slow. You could have a whole 2 minutes on stage. How wonderful.
Yes.
And then this is like kind of the 1.0 to 2.0 transition time when the common thing was to walk quick because you were on a runway and like a little red carpet runway, and we're not walking slow, we're power walking in evening gown. And now I think there's still some people who are, coming from some of those older days that are giving advice or unique advice. So tell us, as somebody who's competed very recently in the last Miss America competition, set the tone for us. How fast or slow should we be walking in evening wear?
Yeah. I think there's a misconception that the longer you're on stage, the higher your score will be.
Mm.
And that is not the case at all. And I think it's also important to remember that those judges have that score probably way quicker than you realize. In the few pageants I've judged in years past, I know within the first 10, 15 seconds what I'm going to score, girl. So I think it's important that we realize that being on stage for a longer amount of time does not make your score go up. So remember that it's more about the quality that you present, not the quantity. So that in that first like 10, 15 seconds that you have on stage, like really lap it up. Like I recommend, this was something that I learned a long, long time ago. I try to make eye contact with each judge for at least 3 seconds. So each judge, like, give them that eye contact that they feel attached to you and they feel connected to you in some way. So more than just your walk, it's about connecting with them, and it's about showing them that you care about what they think, and you're also engaging with the audience. So more than just scanning the judges, you're scanning the audience behind the judges. And if there's, higher seating, like, you're taking time to look up at them and give them engagement. These are all factors that I think as judges, you want to feel like you're commanding the whole room. You're not out there just for those 5 select people. You're putting on a show. You're excited to see everyone in that auditorium, not just them.
Yes, yes. Before I go on to that next slide, can you elaborate a little bit more on, your experience as a judge in that first 10 to 15 second window? For those that are listening, what could they do to try and make the best impact within that first 10 to 15 seconds? What were you looking for as a judge, or what made an impact for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think beaming just from the second that you walk on that stage. You have to look excited and happy to be there. I think it's so quick that judges can tell if someone's nervous or someone's anxious to be on that stage. It should be such a moment of bliss and such a moment of so much preparation leading up to this time that you can just feel like $1,000,000 walking on that stage. So you can do that by, as soon as you walk on that stage, your chin lifts up just a little bit, or it's something simple like not looking down at the floor whenever you're walking, which I know is hard, especially with stairs. And girls, it's so much better to look down at stairs than fall down them. So absolutely, I'm not saying you can't look down, but if you have the opportunity to be looking up, like tilting that chin up, like just giving them a little something extra, I think really makes a difference.